Hey, good morning, everybody. This is the professor with Day Trading for Success. Today, we're going to be live trading the open with one of the 4 different strategies we've been working on. Please read this disclaimer. I am not a licensed financial advisor. This channel is an entertainment channel trying to show you tips and tricks and different ways to trade with free layouts and free custom scripts. And we don't sell any courses. Everything we do here is just informational, teaching information and examples to show you ways that maybe you could trade to make $100, $200, $300 a day, try to, along on your journey to try to make a living day trading and try to increase that percentage from a horrible 10% to maybe a 20, 30% of successful traders. So remember, please read that and get a licensed professional and trade in a simulator before you try any of these strategies. So this is what's considered, each open strategy now has a different layout, which I will be introducing as we go on. As they get closer, the $1 Million Margin Club is going to be releasing a book, and each one of those strategies, which is based on right now different time increments of when you break the pre-market high or pre-market low before you go into the trade. That's the general gist of 4 of the different open strategies. Then there'll be a momentum trading strategy, and I think they have something else, another idea too. There's only so many strategies you can have at the open. You have to start trading at the open. So the big strategies will be like, when do you go in and when do you go out? Originally at the open, rather than after that, you're pretty much just scalping. Although this does have some very specific rules to protect you of going in and going out. So now we are trading Uber today, which is a very low ATR, which is the average true range of how much a stock will move over a 14-day period. So you're not going to get huge swings even at the open with a stock like Uber. And then a lot of the traders that are with me today are able to afford a higher share size. So we'll be doing 1,000. We do not believe that there's any problem. If you look at the level 2, this is multiplied by 100, and plus 50 to 70% of this is not shown. So really, when the market, and this is prior to market open, so we really don't feel there'll be any danger of all of the people trading here getting filled with 1,000 shares. Now, as the liquidity dies out in a stock like Uber, as we get past the open a little bit, then there could be some trouble getting fills on. But we're going to be trading markets, so that's going to make it easier too. Remember that Thinkorswim, which is a platform you see here, gives you a 3.7 times liquidity, guaranteeing you that it will put in, like, if they didn't have, if I was trying to sell 1,000 shares and there was only 300 down here showing, it would multiply that by 3.7 to get this filled. They would take care of the rest, and they do that all in 0.2 of a second. So there's really no trouble with these larger stocks getting filled. So I wanted to make sure I brought that up because somebody was talking earlier about one of the traders, like they were worried. You're not going to have a problem with what we have picked up on the scanner to trade this open strategy with. So let's go over this layout a little bit and what the strategy is. We'll be trading in about 13 minutes. So I'll explain to you a little bit about what this is and what the strategy looks for. So basically, I do have a 30-minute down here, but this is this chart down here that's a 30-minute is not what this strategy is based on. Instead, it's based on pre-market high or low on a 1-minute or even a 5-minute. So what I've done here is I've found the low. It's based on it from 7:30 to 7:30 right here. So I actually did that a little too far back. That should be up there. We'll let that lay there. It's close enough, really. 7:30 to 9:15. So right now we've got the high back here at 8:02, and it hasn't come close to that again, and we're past 9:15. So that's our range. I mean, that could be a little higher. So I want to keep that in mind, that got marked a little 12 minutes back further than it should have been. So it should really be. Here's the thing. This whole thing is so few. That's why the 1,000 shares, you're going to only make like 5, 6, 8 cent trades, 12-cent trades. You're not going to have big trades, and it's about scalping. It's about being fast at the open and just looking for these levels. So anyway, I got bogged down on the pre-market high, pre-market low. So what you do is you set it between 7:30 and 9:15. You find the highs and you find the lows, and you make sure they're clearly marked. So that's the range. We want to make sure that the price action breaks either that or this before we go in. Now you'll see other lines here, and they're all profit-taking lines, including, now there's the ATR low and the ATR high. So if you don't know what that is, I'll show you just briefly. Where's the ATR high here? This is a 1-minute chart. So yeah, there's the ATR high. So there's sort of the range we would trade in, except that if it breaks through that, we can still trade. I just think there were no others up here to mark for profit lines. But you're marking profit lines. Let's go to a 5-minute chart to take a look at that. This is a 5-minute chart over here. So I marked a Fibonacci. So remember, this is nature's mathematical formula that everybody follows, and it always goes from left to right, from the peak to the trough. So it might be that the trough's here and the peak's up here, but it's always left to right. So I marked a 5-day back Fibonacci on a 5-minute chart, and then those lines spread out. Those are profit-taking lines. And then I did it again on a 2-day back, the same thing again, and those lines will be profit-taking lines too. What that means is when the price action gets to that, you have a choice to take your profit and get out of the trade and wait for the re-entry, and we'll talk about what re-entry is, or you can hold on. My advice is take them pretty quick. Don't go through 2 lines. It's sort of the key to the strategy is just get in and get out at the open. Don't let her ride, because it's not really a strategy anymore, right? So then you're starting to get pivot points into a range bound. We are not trading range bound. Well, everything's range bound technically, but I mean, this is not really a range bound strategy. So then what are these other lines that you see here? Well, what they are is where the stock has turned around. Pivot points. See how many candles line up there? See, that's right across there. And then you try to line them up with others that go across. If they weren't picked up by, let me try to spread those out a little bit so you can see a little better there. So above the pre-market high, if it breaks it, a bunch of these were marked. And if they got too close to this line, it was no point in marking them. So you kind of want to make a few cents. But you can see they're trying to catch as many wicks or bodies as they can on average where the fibs didn't pick them up, which should be more respected. Now, why would you mark those there? Because that's where price action turned around for whatever reason. People are waiting there to either buy or sell again. So you need to take note of those levels. In this case, it's take note and get out. Take note and get out. You're not even going to wait to see what it does for the most part. Just take your profit. So let it ride to that level and then take your profit. That's how easy it is. And then you wait for it to see if it keeps breaking. Now, the way the strategy works is you don't instantly get back in. It has to cross the next profit level. So let's just use this as an example. Let's just say this was the price action and it broke through. So you have a choice. You could get out right there, which I highly recommend, right? And then wait for it to break the next level and get back in, which would have been a very short trade, and then it would have started to sink, then you would have got out. So you would have lost, once it breaks back through, get out. So you would have won the first trade and then lost a penny or two off the second trade. But that's where you can get back in. But if that happened so fast, you might have never got back in. You'd end up playing this price action down here. You do not reverse. This is not a reverse strategy. When it's above the the pre-market high, you're only going long. When it's below, you're only going short. That's the strategy. If you start doing something else, it might work for you. It's just not this strategy. So you might want to do all kinds of things about that. All the 4 time increment strategies that vary from the 30-minute to the 5-minute after open to the 15-minute after open, and they have different ways that they mark out pivot points, profit lines. Basically, all of them only go one direction. You get out. That's the idea is protect your money, get in and get out. So the volatility isn't so unpredictable. You have a very predictable strategy with a max loss per trade, and you should get nowhere near it if you have profit lines that are between 5 and 15 cents from the time you're entering. You're not going to be able to lose big because you're going to get out either with profit or right away when it turns around. So now usually when it breaks these levels, it goes on a little bit You can see here, it didn't go on very far. Here's an example of where it didn't go on. But others, it goes on, then it comes back. You'd be out of the trade. You might get back in here, you'd be out of the trade. You'd wait for it to break again. You'd get in, you get out. You get in, you get out. Then you got a big one here. You can get in, then you get in again, and then you probably get in again, and then either you break even or make a little bit of money, possibly lose a little on that one. Then you can't trade this as it goes down. You can't trade it. You could do it again here, breaks it, you get in, you do it, and then finally you're down here, and then you're waiting, and here's a big move because now you don't trade in between the levels at all. That's the way the strategy works. No trade in here. So if you want to follow it and protect yourself, this is back test. This isn't just silliness. Somebody said, hey, why don't we do this? This is all back tested from watching how the price action moved over so many charts and so many stocks. And they do change a little depending on the market cap of the stock. So this one for Uber is I think, a very good strategy, the one we just picked up for the pre-market. Look how much, you would have made here on 1,000 shares. So you would have had at least 2 or 3 trades, good trades here. You have 2 or 3 good trades here. If you followed the strategy, these trades would have been way more winners than losers. You might have had a couple of small losers, but if it turned around quickly on you, is the only way you're going to lose. And then if you don't get out, if it breaks back through the line that you went to you got in to go to the next profit line, you need to get out. I mean, you might wait a split second to see if it's, just doing a little jog, but if it just keeps, you got to get out and protect yourself. And that is the basic secret to this strategy. So hopefully you saw where I did all those lines. We're getting closer to open, so I'm going to get ready here, guys. Now I'll go over what else I have. So I know it looks like a big mess here, but when I do that, it's not that big of a mess. And then I'll be looking right here for my eyes will be right on the profit lines, being ready to get in and get out when I see the candlestick action, or I'll make note of the price and I'll look at what the market maker's giving me right here. Now it's not moving because it's these just showing you market. Down here on level 2, you can see, well, it's not moving here either. So seems to be frozen there. Yeah. Pre-market, Thinkorswim, you're not going to get a lot of. I have an offset ladder layout that I use for pre-market that always picks you up, which I actually got off of another YouTuber. It was pretty cool. I like the kid. But it's still, if you're going to trade a lot of pre-market, it's probably not a Thinkorswim kind of deal. It's probably more like a Lightspeed. If you really want to get into pre-market, a Lightspeed platform is the name of a platform. So anyway, this 1 minute is mostly up here. So I have the custom script scalping indicator right down here, which right now it's very tiny, but as the market opens up, these are going to get really big, and the red lines will show you the sellers, the green the buyers, the blue is the volume, and then the percentages are shown up here, so you can see the strength of the movement within the candle. Now this is all going to happen so fast that it's almost like you're just looking at the price action, this and your line, wherever it looks like it's going back down now. Where is your next profit line? Is it a fib? This is in between. So there's no profit here. Just make sure you're not confused. Has to be above for me to take a trade. And I know that people have questioned, what do I do after that? What do I do when I'm out? Well, if it pulls back down, then if it breaks it again, you can go right back in and you're going to go for that line and you're going to get out. If it pulls back down, and you can go right back in. If it pulls way down here, you can go back in on this line. It has to go below it before you can count it as a re-entry. Otherwise, if you're up here, you're waiting. Now, that doesn't mean you have to hang out and stick it out. If you're up here and you're making money and it's just starting to fade off and you see the volume dropping, it's just like get out for a profit. These are set for what should be your maximum profit. You don't want to just get in and take the wild ride all the way up, or there's no strategy. And that might work. Obviously that might work. If you've got a feeling, if you see other indicators that tell you, I'm just holding on, well, that might work for you. I'm going to show you a specific strategy that has been working very well for a lot of people, and I don't trade it as much because I'm doing the RV strategy to scalp, but I keep getting reports and I'm seeing videos of some of our group trading, and they are eking out some pretty big dollars here with these strategies, and I see very few red days doing this. So now there is the other strategy where you just ride the first candle. You listen to the news and the catalyst. And there's that strategy. I used to trade that all the time. But I swear, no matter how much you know, it really feels like you're flipping a coin. I mean, as with anything, guys, you can't count on any of these strategies. You can't count on anything anybody says. You have to assume the trade will go against you. As long as you keep that in your mind, you're safe. So that means react fast. There's other YouTubers that say if it doesn't break out, bail out. You need to be prepared to bail out if it's not following your strategy at any given moment. That's why trading in a simulator is a good idea before you go with large share size or much smaller share size than this. I mean, you could trade this strategy with 10 shares. Now, it looks like it's going to go down. I hope it breaks the pre-market. I hope this isn't boring, because if it doesn't break it, we cannot take a trade. But I mean, I don't expect Uber to take more than 10 to 40-cent move throughout this entire 15-minute strategy. The strategy is from 9:30 to 9:45. That's the idea. Close off, turn your computer off, walk away. Hopefully green, walk away, because unless you're trading a different strategy, this has not been beta tested beyond 15 minutes for this time increment. So don't look to what we're doing to say that it keeps working. These profit lines keep working. Now, if you are getting a lot of data that is showing that it is working, I really wish you would share it with me with pictures and everything else, because really as a community, we can all help each other. There's no genius trader going on here, right? It's a collective body of people with different ideas, and that could be you. And that's why we love new traders to come in. Okay, guys, we're about ready to start. So let's see. Let's see what's going to happen here. So we open in just a second. So probably nothing. So now the first minute we won't trade. So we wait for if there's going to be some weird action, we're going to wait. And it might show us the direction, high, long or short here. It might show us which way it's going to go after this first 1 minute. And I can also set my charts up a little better once the action gets craziness here. Well, it looks like it's going to go down. So that's interesting. We do not want to trade on the first 1 minute candle. That is the rules. You do not take the first 1 minute. But expect me to do some very fast trading here. The first profit line is only 8 cents from here. It almost hit it, but it didn't. And then the next one is a little bit further. There, it broke it again. I'm definitely looking to sell off the next. Oh, look at that. Okay, so we have to wait and be careful, because, we may have a new entry. So there it is. So it's entered below there. I'm not taking that trade. Now, if it goes back through it, I will take the trade. So that's 89. It's 85. It's got to go above 89 and then come back. Is it going to do it? It did. I sold. I sold there. I got it at what did I get it at? 92. So I'm looking for it to go back down, and I will take that first profit line at 81. There's 87. I'm looking at what the market maker is going to give me, guys. There's 87, 83, 93, 95. So it's not a good position for me right now. Looking for it to go down. Wow, it's going the wrong way. I'm not going to get out yet. Now, I could get out here. There's the first profit. Oh, it wasn't that good, but it wasn't bad. So now I'm looking to get back in the move. I'm going to go ahead and get back in the move. Look for it to come down again. Oh, that was good. All right, so I got that one. Now I need it to come back, go through a new price level. See, it's back up to 85. I'm looking at the market maker there. So when it gets above 89, there we go. I can try to do it again. Wow, that was too bad. Yeah. I should have waited for that to turn around. I went in too quick there. I thought it was just going to bounce right back. That's not actually the strategy. So I should have waited for it to break down. It's just these moves are so tiny that I'm feeling a little anxious about catching them. So again, I needed to get down there again, down to the 81 range for that first profit line. Doesn't seem to be passing it much, does it? There's 83, 84, 82, 81. Oh, I caught it on 81. I really don't feel it. This is very tight trading. I need it to break back up here above 89 again. So I'm looking at this, guys. So it broke above it. I'm going to go ahead and try it. It didn't break back down. Oh, I should have waited a second. I should have definitely waited. Again, I went against the strategy twice because I feel like it's I wasn't going to have enough time to catch it, and now I'm getting hurt because of it. Look at that. So if it breaks through up there, I've got to get out. So is it going to actually break that? Wow. That's all my money because I didn't follow I should have waited for it to come back down. So I'm telling you what I did wrong, right? But I am holding it. So what I'm doing wrong is holding this large of a losing trade. I should have bailed out instantly and just waited for it to break. And I didn't. Oh, and now it's getting worse. So yeah, I'm going to have to buy out here. Wow, huh? It's coming back down, so maybe it'll save me. So don't do what I did. So here I am, a professional trader, and I just made a big error there in this strategy because I had this at $200 and something. Now I'm looking for it to break 81 again. So everybody, I haven't even had a chance to see what anybody else is doing. So, the second I take, this is happening so fast, I can't take my eye off these moves. It's because they're so tight, you know. Okay, there it is. Okay, so now I'm going to take a breath. So is it just going to keep doing that, or is it going to start moving down here? I don't know. Let me just see what other people are doing here. Wow. I think it's just doing the same thing. So let's see for it to, I'm going to wait for it to get, if it breaks through it, I'm going to wait this time. See, and I'm glad I did. I got to take that. Yeah, I got to take that because it was below it and it stayed there. So yeah, I could have gone back up, but the rule, you know, the way, if you follow the rules, it broke that line. Now, where I shouldn't follow the rules is I should follow the rules I didn't last time. If it keeps going up, I should get out and not watch it go up. But there was 84 for a profit for a second. I haven't really seen how the slippage is on this. Looking for it to get back down to that first profit line again. I'm afraid to go any further, quite frankly. It's just so tight here. But it is working. You know, it is working. I kind of wish I was using hotkeys, quite frankly. I think I tell that story when I used to, when I was young, I was in math competitions and I'd have to go up to the chalkboard. Back then there were chalkboards. And you were racing to solve the problem. And my leg would start to shake. The kids would laugh at me. And every once in a while when I'm trading like this and I have to have speed, so much speed, it's like I know what to do, but then your body has to react at the speed. And then so I should have sold off earlier than this, that my finger starts to like tremble on this mouse pad. That's why I would prefer to have hotkeys, because you're keeping your finger raised above it, not with any kind of a pressure down. And then so it's just sitting there free floating, ready to shake. Or to quiver, because you're trying to be fast. It's like I know what to do, but can my body react? Can my brain send the message? Coming from a former gamer, that seems hard to believe, but yeah, it's you have to be fast and eye-hand coordination when you game. But you know, and it's not because I'm worried about a couple $100. It's just that I want to do it right. And again, I should have sold out of this position. I should have not been carrying it up here. What is my position? 89. So I'm way down I'm exactly at the pre-market. I think my cushion is allowing me to hold this, but I won't have a cushion very long. I don't want to see it get up here or I'm out. So I'm watching. But really, the safer trader should have just bailed, taken a couple of losses here, still would have made the profits, and it would have made probably little to no difference. But let's see. Here we go. So it's being kind to me. It's going to go back down to that level again, I think, or not. Wow, it's playing in between the pre-market levels, and it's toying right near the bottom level there. So I can't look at these guys. I can't see what they're doing. This is the thing about the open strategy, especially with this type of price, this tight of a price, channel. This is tight. What is it? 9 cents, 8 cents, 8 cents. But with 1,000 shares, that's $80 every time you hit it. So it can add up fast. If it's just going to stay here, and then it might stay here, and then the play might be long. After it could go all the way up and break that, but it's staying here, which is not stuff we like to see. I mean, it is telling us that it's not making big moves, which is safe. So I don't think I'm going to go red here unless I really just throw caution to the wind. But it can. Here we go. I'll take that. So, woof. How are we doing, guys? Yeah, that's. We're waiting for it to get back up above it. It is. I'm going to take it. Geez, it did it again. It's right there, resting. What's my position at? My position's at 88 again. So this is at 89, and I'm slowly stair-stepping this up. So here we go again. Is it going to do it to me again? I mean, this went up and it gave a spinning top, and that's sort of an inverted hammer. Again, I have a nice big cushion to maybe relax a hair. I would love to try to trade this lower. I mean, it went down here, and I didn't catch that. But see how it's lower lows. I mean, it's starting to stair step. Okay, there we go. It's starting to stair step down. So there we go. There we go. To go down to the next level there. I'm going to hold it a little longer, guys. I've got a cushion. So it says 69.80. It hit 70.76. So 69.70 is the third profit level down. But, man, I don't think it's going to get there. I'm going to want to take this soon. Yeah, take that. Whoa, it did get there. Oh, wow. I'm not going to hold it for that one. So that got me 649. And what time, how close are we? So we're like 10 minutes in. We're at the 9:40 mark here. Woof. Yeah, it's so fast, guys. That's so fast. All right, there's one person red. Everybody else is green. It does happen. You could be red. I mean, that was fast, right? That was fast. So it looks like that we have to make a decision to now, like right there, I should have entered. I should have entered right there. I kind of like to see it come back here, but if it's not going to do it, then I'm going to keep trading. And the strategy says get in. So if it's going to break that ATR again, I don't know. That's at 55. It's up at 60 now. I'd like to see it break through the 70 up there before I try to ride it down any further, so I'm not so far out of position if it goes up. Again, I'm looking at the market maker. Okay, I'm going to take that. I took it a little soon. I'm looking for a breakdown, so if it doesn't break down, I got to get out. $20, $30. $40. Oh, come on. Oh, wow. Okay, so if it breaks off that fib, if it goes through up to the pre-market again, I got to get out. So I'm not going to ride it above the pre-market level. I'll just get back in it if it breaks it, and I'll take a loss of $100, $150 or something, and I'll still be doing fine, following the strategy. I really jumped in as it went up rather than waiting for it to come back down because I thought it was just going to break right down. But I should have waited. I mean, that's what the strategy says to do, but it was been moving so fast. I was worried about it, about waiting and then losing the opportunity. FOMO of losing the opportunity rather than the conservative way to make it. So we're looking to now the ATR, if it happens to go here again, and it did, this would be a really good profit. But I'm going to tell you right now, if it goes this far, I'm going to hold it and see how far it can go because we're at the end of the 15 minutes in just a second here. We have like 2 candles left. So I'm going to see how far this can go for me. This is probably my last trade. So I can't imagine getting in and getting out again. It could happen. Okay, I'm hovering over the buy button. I'm getting ready. I'm looking at the market maker. That's a good trade already. My position 69.70. So every penny is $10. That's how fast it adds up. So hopefully this is entertaining for you guys. I mean, I loved using beta test. Whoa, beta tested a new strategy. So what did that go to? 53. I'm going to take that. Jeez. Do I have time for another trade? Wow, man, look how much money I could have got there. Oh, no, it keeps going. Yeah, see, that's what happened. But, I mean, it's smart to take it at the ATR. I mean, that was a good profit, right? But what more would that have been? That would have been another 200, at least 200 and something dollars. I could have broke 1,000 had I traded that. So that was that's sad. But I might just do it again no, I just can't catch a falling knife right now. Now if it came back up and broke, I would think about keep going. But I think I'm gonna stop right there, guys, because it's literally a minute left, and I don't see this making it just keeps going down. I mean, the thing to do would have been to pick up that trade. That would have been the thing to do. Do I feel a lack of confidence? Yes, I do. I do feel, but it worked. It definitely worked. But it's not for the faint of heart. I'll have to tell you that, especially up here. These were get me on the edge of my seat, these little trades. But look what happened. I mean, $119. That ain't hay, right, as they say. So, and if you can catch them like that, some people won't even trade a 1 minute. A lot of people think that a 2-minute chart. I was just watching some guy on YouTube that said he would never trade faster than a 2-minute chart, and a 2-minute chart seems so slow to me. It's like all those moves you're missing. You see other people who have 30-second charts, so once you get used to trading a faster time frame and you have the right platform for it, everything else looks like molasses to you. Everything else is, oh my God, you want me to wait 5 minutes to see what happens? I could do 10 trades in that period or more than that, So, it's just a perspective thing, right? So it kind of ruined me for longer. Trading on 30-second and 1-minute charts ruined me for longer term trading, but I love the adrenaline, the excitement. See, now this would be the place, if you weren't past the time, like that would have been a place to re-enter or here, and you could have taken another short profit. That would have been, 9 cents right there. You could have picked up right on that move, 9 cents, just selling buy, selling buy, selling buy. So it's interesting that, so what you're doing really, or you could have just sold on the trend and rode it all the way down. There's another strategy, but you don't know that's going to happen. And the idea of these strategies is for this kind of stuff, giving you some sort of a perspective on trading this kind of stuff. Now, this isn't for everybody. Look to the RV strategy. I'll have 5 books linked about just general trading, 5 books you should read. Day Trading Volume 1 through 3, Trading in the Zone, and The Best Loser Wins. And they have slower paced strategies that not that much slower, but they're range bound for large caps. So I would really buy Day Trading Volume 1 for sure is your first book. And then just if you're new and you haven't seen this before and this is scary, it might not be scary once you start trading in a sim for a while and you pick this up. And if you could make that 5 days a week, I think you'd be pretty happy. Now, granted, that's 1,000 shares, but what was the most I was down on any single trade? 120, 150? So if you brought this down to 100 shares, the most you would have been down is $10 or $15 a trade. And then this could be $80 to $100 for you. So it's just a perspective thing. If you're willing to gamble $50 a day or $25 a day, whatever it is, lower your share size and make a trading plan that you're comfortable with, because if you can't stick with any strategy, that means your share size is too high. That means the fear is overtaking you. See, here would have been a perfect entry once again off this ATR. Look at that. And then you take profit there or take profit here. And then you just get out. You just get out. And if it goes up, get out. Now, you didn't see me get out a couple times, and I'm still having trouble because of the type of trader I am. I'm failing you guys by not getting out exactly like the strategy said to do. So I would have had a couple losses in here, which probably would have brought that down to six something if I just listened to the strategy, and not held. I still would have been very green, but I probably wouldn't have had quite as much because I shouldn't have held into those moves, assuming they're going to turn back around. Let's be real. I didn't know. So I was kind of increasing my max loss. It's really hard to have a trading plan on this. I have to be honest with you. I didn't set a max loss per trade when I started. I just knew that I would not let it go very far in my head, but that's stupid. You need a max loss. So that's stupid. Another mistake I made. So anyway, hopefully you see enough of my videos to know that, I know what I'm doing a little bit. But yeah, I'm not trying to self-deprecate my way out to where you have no confidence in me at all. But yeah, I didn't follow it exactly, and it bothers me a little bit. I'll try to do better. This was tough, though. I have to say, this was a little tough. But once I kind of had to feel it a little bit because I hadn't done this in a while. And once I started to get into the feel, it got easier as it was going down. And then I started, hey, I should wait a little longer. When I looked over and saw that they were lower, so I think it was around here, I said, why don't I wait just a little longer in that? Because this was also telling me that it was a more deliberate move down, the way that was 3 candles in a row down, like, hey, it might not just keep doing that. It might keep going down, and that's just what it did. It had a little pullback here. So that's a hammer, by the way. That's enough of a trend on a 1 minute to call that a hammer, which signifies a reversal of it going the other way, which it did do. Now, you can't really call that. Yeah, I guess you could. It's not. You have to wait for a trend to call a pattern like one way or the other, 4 to 6 candles. Since that really isn't anything. It's just an indecision candle. So it never really turned around. It just paused, slowed down, and then kept going down. So again, this is an inverted hammer at the bottom. So that's telling you that it may turn around. And for the most part, it did. Then it came back. But so anyway, yeah, day trading volume 2 and 3 is going to teach you about patterns. You really should learn about those things, guys. Anyway, there's a lot. All this layout is available for free on different videos before this type in open strategy. The scalpers indicator, which I barely used. Honestly, I don't think I remember glancing over at it once, but I didn't have time to think about the scalping indicator. So that's an interesting thing. It's so fast that even the scalping indicator didn't work, because I was just watching these numbers. I was watching my market maker, and I was remembering what the level was, the 81 and the 89. And was just in the beginning, I was just going, above 80, above 89, take a trade. When it gets to 81, get out. I just started to do that. And that's why when I took a couple times as it was going up rather than waiting, and then hitting it as it came down. So that's where the flaw was by just watching here. But it was just really hard to I wanted this chart to be like right here next to this number, so it was really hard to see across. Anyway, guys, I hope that was helpful. It was certainly exciting for me. Remember, trading a sim, be careful out there, stay inquisitive, and stay green, and I will see you next video not too far from now. Have a good one.